Hey Cryptofy, how are we all today? Kurt Conley here with Rev, going to go through some of the Foreseer questions that everyone's been asking for and talk about registration. How are we today, Rev?
Yeah, good. Doing well. Yourself, Kurt?
Getting there. It's been a bit of a crazy week, as you know, and been busy. So let's try and get through this video quickly and try and get it to the point. And hopefully everyone has a bit more better understanding of what's happening with Foreseer. Super excited to get Foreseer registrations out, as I know you and Rand are as well.
Yeah. It's been a long one, but we're getting there, so it's all good.
For sure. All right, cool. So I'm just going to jump straight in. I'm just going to run through some of the things that we're talking about today. So we're going to talk about what is required for a Cryptofy member to take part in Foreseer, payments, controls of the account. I always know that's a really unique piece of information that people want to know.
Yeah.
The reason for the limited spots, trading pairs, how to connect your account, so how to connect your trading account. It would be separate to your normal account. Notifications, what kind of notifications are going to come through when trades are taken using Foreseer. Leverage trading examples, Red's going to go through an example or two. Spot trading, liquidity and slippage. It's really important, and that ties back into why there are limited spots. And then we're going to do a Foreseer snapshot on performance. We do have several system strategies bots, but we are going to cover one today, and that's just going to be like a 3-4 month snapshot on performance. So Rev, we might as well dive into it, hey?
Let's do it. Let's get it done.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so what is required for a member to use Foreseer, to trade with Foreseer? What do they need to do? Because I know a lot of people will be thinking, do they have to trade using, like, downloading a terminal, or is it going to be complication with setup with code and software? So hopefully you can put people's minds at ease with that.
Yeah, for sure. So there was a few ways that we started off, going through and how to actually get it going. But we came at the end of it, we came up with a totally different way, by a bit of chance, but also, it's just meant to be. Things happen for a reason. We believe in that, don't we, Kurt? So you'll be utilizing a platform, and you set up your account on that platform. It's pretty straightforward. We'll have pretty much a walkthrough guide for ourselves, similar to what you did with Register for TIS, Kurt. That's what people should be expecting, I think, and that was really, really good. It was straight to the point, and there was no messing around in there. So pretty much set up an account, API, and we'll be walking through all that through this video as well.
Yeah, for sure. Payments is going to be different. Now, I know a lot of people in the beginning asked, can I pay with USD with TIS and CryptoStat? TIS and CryptoStat, for the people that don't know and the new members, can only be paid through cryptostat.org, and they can only be paid using Ethereum. Correct. With Foreseer, how are we going to accept payments, and how's it going to be done this time around, Rev?
So for Foreseer, we can only utilize a USD payment. So we can't utilize what we're doing with CryptoStat and TIS through crypto. What we're going to do is we're just going to go through USD, and you can use a credit card, any credit card that is available through that whole system, the payment system, or PayPal as well. I believe we also cover that as well, don't we, Kurt?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure PayPal integration's all set up and ready to go, so people will find that super easy. So just to clarify, you will not be using Ethereum to pay for Foreseer when it's rolled out. A real tricky one that always comes up, Rev, and I know that when we were building this out a while ago, when we were doing some testing, I used to always ask this question as well. So controlling of the account, in crypto, we have this not your keys, not your coins sort of philosophy that everyone lives by. And I know that I've had a few private messages asking with Foreseer, am I going to be in control of the account? I just want to categorically say that Cryptofy members, myself, Rev, Rand, our system, ourselves, do not control any of your funds. Okay? So Rev, do you want to elaborate on that and how it works, and utilizing APIs and stuff like that, where we are not managing anyone's funds?
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty straightforward. It might not seem straightforward if it's the first time you're hearing it, but once you actually dive into it and understand how it works, it's pretty simple, really, at the end of the day. So You know, you utilize an API in your account. Let's say you're utilizing Binance as the exchange. You create an API, which is read-only and tradable, but not withdrawable. And once you've done that, you go in and you go into the dashboard of the platform that you'll be utilizing for Foreseer, and put in your API keys. Now, once that's done, no one is in control of your account but you. You are still in control of your personal funds. You know your crypto, your dollar value, whatever it may be that you're looking to do or utilize or capitalize on. You are still in control of that, and we cannot access that in any shape or form, as long as you follow the guides correctly through creating the API. Now, the only thing that does control, very key point, and we'll be covering that as well. You know, like I said, you'll be doing a video for it. I'll be walking through. I might even jump on with you just to clarify on specific points on it. So once that's done, the only thing that is doing anything to your account from there onwards, it's not myself, it's not the team, it's just Foreseer. Whenever Foreseer says buy, the API receives a signal from our end, and pretty much says, okay, it's a buy position here. You either go, depending on which one you've set up with, which different, because we have long leverage ones, long and short, and you have a buy and close. So you buy and close the position. Depends on what you've set up on. It will enter that position based on what the signal says. So if it's a buy signal, it will enter that position. Depending on what you're doing with your account, which setup you've chosen for Foreseer. And when you get a sell signal, it will close that, or it will go short for you. So there is nobody, we can't even control Foreseer. Put it that way, Kurt.
Like, even if we wanted to.
Sorry, what was that?
even if we wanted to. There's been some times where I can see the market's changing. I'm like, Rev, let's change it. And it's like, we can't.
No, and the only thing you can do from your end is to close the position in your account, because you are still in control of your account. So that is totally up to you. But then you are not letting Foreseer do its thing. So, at the end,
you're messing.
Yeah, you're messing with it. And Kurt's a big one on messing with it. He likes to not trust Foreseer, and every time he hasn't, it's really hurt.
It's only because I was born with very bad patience. So patience is not my best virtue, and Foreseer has tested me more than my kids test me. Let's put it that
way. I think we've covered everything there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's talk about limited spots. There has been some discussion in Discord, some questions. I was on the phone to someone the other day. They're asking, why is there so limited spots? We are making like 25 spots per trading pair. Okay, so there's several trading pairs. There's around 100 spots that are going to be available for the initial rollout. I don't want people to think there's never going to be another slot that's going to be available. If all the slots are filled in the first round, it just is what it is. Yeah. But there will be some easing up coming. So did you want to talk a little bit more about the spots, Rev, and what, what's the deal with how many there are and the release of it?
Yeah. So the reason why we do have a limited spot is due to, the only reason is liquidity. At the end of the day, we have, we can run with Foreseer ourselves and never ever run into a sort of a liquidity issue, because we'll be managing the funds in a responsible way, and we won't be really going too crazy. But once you start to allow other people to utilize your bot, you got to understand that if there's, let's say, 50 people on Foreseer, and they're all getting a signal at the same time, they're all smacking the order books, literally, and pushing that liquidity that's there out of the way. So, let's say, just for example's sake, there's 50 people on Foreseer, and every single account, just as an example's sake, is playing with $20,000, right? It's going in as an entry and an exit with $20,000. Now, you can understand that probably you're going to be pushing price of, let's say, Ethereum, $2-3 minimum with, that much. That's $1 million. 50 people.
Because that is $1 million. Because obviously when Foreseer is signaling a buy, that's hitting $1 million off the books, right?
That's right. Yeah, because everyone's getting the signal instantly, and instantly everyone's market buying. So it just depends on your internet connection, how quickly it can make the connection to do you know what I mean? So it's going to be mayhem. Imagine if it was 2, 3, 4 million, you're pushing the price quite far away. And that's the last thing we want to do, is we want everyone to really have a fair entry and a fair exit, because sometimes we're only talking a matter of, Foreseer only picks up $2 or $3 as it is. You know, it'll sell out and then buy $2, $3 under. It'll, you know, if that makes sense, you're only sometimes utilizing $3 to make a profit, or even a loss. Now, if you're hitting that straight away, just by offering the signal, it's kind of like, it's going against Foreseer, and then not allowing everyone, I guess, at the end of the day, to really get the results and yield the results. So it's a bit of a, you know, for us, it's a bit of we haven't gone there. It's territory that we haven't been in.
It's uncharted. It is uncharted for us. We've tested the account through and through. Like, this thing's been running for ages for us, and it works. And we've thrown some funds at it and tested it. So there's no problem on that side. It's more, okay, like, we have to make sure that liquidity doesn't become an issue. But
100%.
So that's why we're doing spots. And yeah, that sort of like summarizes that.
Yeah.
So let's jump into connecting your account and logging in. It is a very simple step-by-step process, few clicks, grabbing your API from Binance, dropping it in there if Binance is the account that you want to use, dropping it in there, and your account is set up. Once again, we will do this step-by-step guide when it's ready to time to roll it out, but it is very simple to set up. You know, like I said, people have been asking, you know, is it going to, like, what are the steps? How am I going to do it? Do I have to go buy software and stuff like that? No, you do not need any of that. Did you need to add to that, Rev?
Not really. I mean, you covered it. No, there's nothing really added to it besides our little step-by-step walkthrough that we're going to go through. It's pretty simple.
Yep. Notifications. So you will get notifications with in and out of trades. Rev, you probably go into a bit deeper with notifications. We can do email and I think desktop as well, right?
Yeah, correct. So within the platform, you can actually select email. So email you when it makes a certain decision, whether it's gone bought or sold. And you can also set it up for desktop notifications as well. Just like your emails come through, and they come through on the bottom right-hand corner, exactly the same way. So pretty straightforward notifications, email and desktop.
And trading pairs. Trading pairs is always an interesting one. A lot of people have been asking us about trading pairs. It would be fair to say that we do have several bots that we are looking to roll out, and all sorts of different trading pairs, but these are the trading pairs that we are rolling out with the first batch. So, Rev, do you want to just a lot of trading pairs that we're going to roll out?
Yes, sweet as. So we're going to first roll out ETH USDT long and short. So a leverage setup only on the 1x. We just believe that you should be running for low leverage rather than the high leverage. Safer, you know, you have better risk management, especially if you're going with 100% equity every single time. And then we're going to also do ETH USDT a spot, so buy and a close position. Some people call it a buy and a sell, but you're literally closing that position. You're not making anything on the way down. But if the price does fall, you pick up a bit more Ethereum. But dollar value does not change in that scenario when it's in a sell scenario. And then we're also going to roll out a BTC USDT leveraged, also on a 1x, and a BTC USDT spot buy and close as well, similar to the Ethereum setup. For now, I think that's more than enough to really get us going and get people to dive in. But we do have, like you said, Kurt, there's so many out there we can mess around with.
Yeah, definitely. Alt trading pairs and stuff like that, we'll roll that out at a later time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a quick run through with leverage trading. So, you know, a lot of people understand leverage trading, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. It's just a quick 1 minute download for some of the people that are asking about it.
Yeah.
So there is a difference between leverage and spot trading. Okay, and when we refer to leverage, you might hear the terminology: we're going long or we're going short. Going long is we believe the market is going to go up, and going short is believing the market's going to go down.
Okay. Yeah.
So when trading long and short, you have the option to add leverage. Okay, so leverage is the use of like bonds to increase your trading position beyond what is actually available in your account. So what does that mean? Let's use BitMEX. So the brokers at BitMEX allow you to use leverage through margin trading, where BitMEX provides you with borrowed funds. And I suppose the easier way for us to show you this is to run through an example, and I'm going to get Rev to quickly run through an example.
Cheers, Kurt. All right, let's get into it. So what we got here is BitMEX with their calculator. So we're going to go through the leverage calculation over here. And then we also have a little notepad here. The difference between leverage and spot trading. Initial BTC is 1. Example BTC starting price is 10,000. So this account right here, as an example, has $10,000 USDT, let's say, and 1 BTC. So either or. As a total, it equals to 1 Bitcoin, which is worth 10,000 USDT. And we've got the calculator here, which we'll be utilizing also on this video, just to showcase and understand, get you guys to really get your head around the spot and leverage difference. All right, we're only going to be talking about a one leverage here. And you can see here, guys, I've put the quantity as $10,000, the entry price at $10,000, and the exit price at $15,000 on a long position, on a 1x leverage. Now, what does this do? This puts you in a perpetual contract that you're betting against Bitcoin to go up in a long position. So it says here, your entry value is -1, which is 1. Your entry value, so your balance is -1 because you used one of your Bitcoin to trade it, right? And your exit value is -0.66. So you've made a profit and a loss of 0.33 BTC, right? So now you have 1 Bitcoin plus the 0.3333. So 1.3, let's just call it 1.33, right? And your ROE is at 33%. Now, by going long from $10,000 to $15,000, you haven't only kept your 1 Bitcoin, you've actually profited BTC by 0.33. But now we're saying that the exit price at this, when you close off your trade, is $15,000. So we take that value, your 1 Bitcoin, because you still have it, plus the profits, and we times that by 15,000 USDT, right? Because that's what we're selling at right now. That's our exit price. And that gives you a total of, let's say, $20,000. So put that in here. There's your $20,000 from leveraging 1x on a 50% move.
Okay, cool. So thanks for the quick example there, Rev. That was really, straightforward. And hopefully you guys understand that. If you need to learn a little bit more about leverage trading, don't be afraid of it. Don't be scared of it. I think the key thing that Rev captured earlier on was people use 5x, 10x, 25x, 50x. It just has a history of, people do catch them. Don't get me wrong, Rev. You've seen people catch 25s, 50, 100%. Right? 100%. But yeah, with Foreseer, we use 1x, okay? Now there is spot trading as well, okay? So spot trading takes place in the spot market and it deals with the current market price, okay? With spot trading, you're essentially executing a trade at the immediate available asking and bidding price that market participants are really asking for at that particular time. And because of the immediate nature of spot trading, you'll need to have the available assets to pay for your trade by the date of settlement. So once again, I'm going to get Rev to quickly run through an example, just so we make sure it's very clear.
Now let's do that same example, just hypothetically, right? We can do the numbers really simple. Let's say you didn't leverage and you bought 1 BTC with your 10,000 USD on a spot, and then BTC, so you have $10,000, you have 1 BTC, right? And then BTC moved in the same scenario to $15,000. Now you'd be like 1 times 15,000, which we all know the answer to, but I'd rather visually give it to you. You have $15,000 on a spot. So you still have 1 BTC, and over here on a leverage on a 1x, we have 1.3333 BTC, which is equal to just shy of $20,000 by about 50 cents. So that's the difference there, Kurt, between a spot and a long or a short position. So if you're short, works exactly the same way as long. You're taking that extra risk. You're taking that, it weighs with extra risk and also higher reward, right? I know people, they go crazy on leverage. I do not recommend any higher than a 6x leverage on Ethereum, because we've seen in the past, 6x has actually been knocked out about maybe I don't know. I don't even. A lot of times, actually, it's been gone, and you would have got liquidated. Um, last time when Ethereum fell from 260 all the way to $85, even on a 1x, you would have got liquidated if you were going short. So, it's really, really messy stuff. But the less risk that you can take, I guess manage risk is what we're trying to get here, and what we're trying to share with people to really understand is the better it is for you, because longevity is definitely crucial to trading. You don't want one-hit wonders. You just want to make sure that you can consistently build your account. So I really hope this makes sense. On a spot, you're keeping your 1 BTC, the value is not changing, and now it's, worth $15,000 because the exit price was $15,000. So let's go and put that in there. We'll put example BTC. Oh, type that wrong. Example BTC exit price, just for your guys' reference as well, so you can all see it, and there's no one. You can just kind of pause it here and try and work out the numbers yourself. You're more than welcome to do it. And then on a leverage, you on a 1x, you got 1.33 BTC worth about $20,000 on the exit price of 15. So same scenario, $5,000 difference, which is huge at the end of the day. And you've also stacked your BTC and Sats at the same time as your dollars. So this is just a perfect example. It doesn't always go your way, obviously, and we wish it would. I mean, if someone has something that goes your way every single time, and it's consistent, and it does something on a weekly basis, let us know. We're really interested to check it out. So yeah, guys, I really hope you got that. I really hope you understood that, and it makes sense, a little bit more sense to you. Yeah, cheers, Kurt.
Okay, so let's talk about liquidity and basic slippage. Rev, I actually might let you have a go talking about liquidity and slippage. I know that you know it by the back of your hand. I do understand it, but if you want to jump in and have a chat about liquidity and slippage.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we spoke about liquidity already. It's pretty straightforward. It's what's on the books. And I think, going back on that just really quickly, I wanted to add some more, but I wasn't sure if I was going too far and too in depth, but I think it's required. When you're looking at liquidity, I think it'll help, especially for Foreseer, that we're going to have, several exchanges, people on different exchanges and spread out. And the way we're going about this from the get-go, myself and Kurt have actually put together a few things so that we understand where the Cryptofy members are at straight from the get-go before we've even rolled out through Cryptofy. And you guys will see that very shortly as well. I believe it's either going to be after or before this video, or probably at the same time. But you guys
so what Rev's referring to is the registration process. It's going to ask some questions in there with the registration. That's going to help regarding understanding liquidity and to ensure that we don't have crazy liquidity or slippage issues. So the definition really of liquidity has two aspects to it. It's really the ease and effort that's required to buying and purchasing Bitcoin. Let's use that for example.
Yeah.
And the slippage is the difference between the expected price and the executed price on large orders.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Right? Rev was talking about before.
Yeah. Slippage it's pretty much if the liquidity isn't there, and here's what we go back on, we're gonna experience slippage. If the liquidity is there and we're spread out, we're not really going to experience slippage, and we don't want to experience slippage at all. We just want to emphasize like as minimum as possible would be great.
I can assure you, Rev even hates, and you might have seen it in Discord with some of the people. If there's slippage of like 20 cents, he's mad.
I can't deal with it. Yeah, it's not cool.
Okay, cool. So we have covered liquidity and slippage. Let's talk about Foreseer performance. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I want to make sure that we cover in here. And Rev, with your example, we're going to go through this. But the number of trades. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you like past performance of Foreseer and what it's actually done recently. And when I say recently, it's like a 3-4 month period. And it's going to talk about number of trades. It's going to talk about percentage profitable, so the number of win trades, net profit, okay, so after fees, how much is being banked, and once again, the time frame. So what Rev's going to do is he's got some snapshots, he's going to be able to run you through some stuff, and then what we're going to do is we're going to run you through the summary, the performance summary, and what it's done, and show you some of the gains, some of the losses. And I mean, I'm pretty impressed with what Foreseer does. And, you know, there will be some questions about, you know, well, can it do this in the future? And what it's done in the past is not always, indicative of what it's going to do in the future.
100%.
But, you know, that's trading, that's crypto. We don't know what Bitcoin's going to do. We don't know what Ethereum's going to do. But we are pretty confident with Foreseer. I mean, do you have anything to add there, Rev, before you run through a quick example?
Yeah, I mean, just going on that, I guess I want to speak about compounding as well, and the fact that we are utilizing or compounding with the numbers that we're going to go through.
Yes.
You know, it's really, really important people understand how compounding works and what that means. So the easiest way that we really could get around this, you know, people utilizing 100% of their accounts on a low leverage or 100% in buy and sell. So people need to manage how much they have in there, and they need to be aware of that as well. I think that's a big factor. Now, so let's say you take the first trade and you have, for example's sake, $1,000, and you make a great trade, and you end up with $500 profit in that trade. You make a 50% return. Now your account's at $1,500 when you go for the sell signal comes in, and you're sitting there with 1,500 USD instead of $1,000. The next trade will now utilize $1,500. So it'll utilize your initial plus that 500 that you made in profits, and take the next trade as a 100% equity trade. And that's how compounding works. It just continuously increases. Now, if you made 50%, just exactly as you did before on the last trade, you know, I'm not too sure. I think I can work it out. 750, right? So now you've made 750, 50% instead of $500 on that 1,000. So now you're sitting there with 250 on the same similar trade, like another 50% trade. So compounding is actually beautiful. It's a nice, you know, in theory, it's amazing. But it's so hard to get it right. It's really, really hard to get compounding right, because your emotions get into play. You're like, oh my God, I've got so much more than what I started with. So, you know, yeah. And then Foreseer just comes in and kills it for you. What's that? What are you putting this? What are you doing there, Kurt? What's up?
Nothing at all. I think you know. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're gonna run through the summary. The summary is going to show you in and outs, percentage gains, and it's going to show you time frames. So let's jump into the summary.
Yep, let's get into it. Alrighty, so we're going to go right into it here. We're going to be showcasing Foreseer in a long and a short position. We're going to be going through the overview, the performance summary, the list of trades as well for the long and short, and also the open and close on ETH/USDT. Now, Foreseer, the actual original setup, relies on a 15-minute chart, as you can see right up there. Not that it's crucial to know, but it is something to note, I guess, at the end of the day. And we'll be walking through everything and going through it all right now. So this is Foreseer long and short. You can see it says it there, Foreseer long and short. This is the current graph. If you had started with 15,000 USD or whatever it is in your currency, but this is based on 15,000 USD. We're going to be going through what date we started. So let's go here and have a look. The date this can take it from is the 3rd of the 3rd. I'll be going through on prior data as well. Not that I think I have a photo, or I can't show you on here personally right now and visually, but I can give it to you as we knew it. And we've been fairly open with you guys and everything. This is actually a bit weird because it's the first time I'm showcasing this to people, and now we had to build it so we can showcase it to you guys within TradingView as well, which was quite a learning curve, to be quite honest, but we managed to get it done. So the 3rd of the 3rd, 2020. So we're talking roughly 4 months, I think. Yeah, 4 months at the moment. So let's go and have a look. So from then to now, on the long and short, you are 358.59% up on your money as a net profit on your dollar. So we started with 15,000. We now have $53,788 plus our original 15,000 USD. Total closed trades, 43 total closed trades. Percentage profitable, 74.42. This is actually the lowest we've ever had it in the last 9 to 10 months of running Foreseer. This is the lowest it's been. It usually hangs around 78 to about 84, 85% percentage profitable. So this is the percentage of winning trades. So if you had taken 10 trades, this is saying 7.4 of them were winning trades and the other 2.6 were losers. The profit factor, I'm not too sure how they calculate this, to be quite honest. It's not really relevant to us. The max drawdown on the Foreseer long and short is 18%. That is the max drawdown loss, which would have been, I believe, in this here. The average trade through Foreseer nets you about 8.34%, and the average bars, so candles, 272. Now, if we go and have a look at the list of trades, you can kind of have a view here. Bearish, 231, and exited that bearish, the short at 225 and went long. So it flips in between. So it goes short, long, short, long, short, long. So it flips between those actual trades. And this is the contracts side of things. So how many ETH you would have in these trades as they continue to go on. This is the profit for each individual trade. And this is your cumulative profit. So this shows, and it will pick up and it will end up what to where it was, 53,788 as your accumulated profit. This is the run up, the highest run up in that particular trade. So when it went, the highest percentage you were up, and this is the highest drawdown you were while within that trade. So really, we just want to pay attention to this here, and probably the Ethereum value within that, and how much you're picking up. So you can see here, this was the this one here was one of the bigger drops that we had. Now you can see Foreseer actually grabbed it from here at 232 on long short to 201, and then it decided to go long, and then it made a small loss and decided to flip it and then go all the way down to $120 from 200 in a short position, where it made 39.92%, which is really, really big. And you can see that reflected right here from 89 to 207 because you're in a short position. So you can pick up a lot more ETH, obviously, so double from where you sold it, but because you're in a short position, you also made a $7,000 profit where you can end up and buy even more Ethereum. And you can see it just continues to climb from there. A decent trade here from 123 to 144, 144 to 121, 121 to 138, and you can just see it consistently climbing from there. And this is all real data. It hasn't changed. You can even go back through Discord and kind of see that we have shared a bit of this information, and you can see it's still the same. Nothing's changed. We're not here to showcase something that is not real or is not true. So I'll just keep scrolling through. And you can see this is that big loss, that big drawdown right there. And we're talking about, you know, we went short at 208 and then exited the short at 242. So totally missed that trade. And because it did that, you lost 110 or so Ethereum in that actual short. But when we go back and look to where we started, we only started with 64. So you're not really going to be that upset with Foreseer to actually just have a loss. It's kind of expected, to be quite honest, to have a loss every now and then. And you can see it just chugging along, and it's continuously to climb. It's continuing to climb back to where it was. So let's go back to the overview. This is Foreseer long and short, and there it is, 358.59 in the last 4 months. Performance summary, you know, the full rundown here. You guys can see it. What's really cool and to really have a look at is the actual commission you pay. So yes, these numbers also take down a fee percentage of 0.075, which is the standard for Binance. It's pretty much the standard for majority of cryptocurrency exchanges at the moment. So yes, this is all taken into consideration fees as well. There is nothing here that isn't, nothing that we've tried to miss. We've tried to make sure everything is correct. So you can check that out. Now, this one here is, once it loads, this one here is the Foreseer open close. You can see it has 21 trades at 144% profit. And you can see this curve here hasn't had as much of a hit as the long and short. And that's because it doesn't go short. It opens a trade and then closes the trade. All it's doing is looking to pick up USDT, and that is its main focus here, guys. Really need you guys to understand that it is only based to look for to make USDT. So you can potentially lose, and you can potentially lose in both of these, right? And overall, the past performance is never indicative of future performance, just as Kurt mentioned before. So you guys need to understand that. But this one is really designed to accumulate USD and not crypto. But in turn, it still does a pretty good damn job of it. So 71.4%, 0.43% profitable, so winning trades. Now the max drawdown on this is 5.88%. That's because we're not going long and we're not going short. We're only opening and closing a trade. Let's have a look at the performance summary. You know, you're from 15,000, you've topped up another 21,000 on top of your 15, which gives you 144% on top. And we can see the commission paid here as well, $815 average trade, all that sort of stuff that you want to know. Number of winning trades 15, number of losing trades 6. This will actually jump up quite a bit, probably go up to maybe 78 to 81% once this trade closes off that is currently running. Performance, we've already gone through that. The list of trades you can see here, it's a day after the other one. So because what happens with TradingView, it just throws them out and says, okay, I can't calculate any further from there and don't want to. But we have our own personal software that can, but we're not ready to showcase that. But this is just showing you guys that, yep, we got it from this date to where we are right now. So once again, you can see 66 Ethereum or so, the profit here, the cumulative profit while you're running, and the actual contract sizes that you're picking up. And you can see here, it goes bullish, and then it closes the entry order for Foreseer, and then it goes long again. So what I mean by bullish or long, it just purchases a spot price of ETH. So it says, okay, we have $15,000 at 225, we can pick up 66, if that makes sense. And then it closes that, so it sells that trade. So it's not actually calculating based off you actually purchasing a long position. It is only based off you buying that actual unit and going from there. So buying, closing, buying, closing, buying, closing, if that makes sense. And as we go on, you can see that it also picks up. It's not as consistent, but it doesn't have as high of an ROI. That's because you're not leveraging, and you know it's a lower risk, lower return at the end of the day. But you can see as well, it is very consistent with the trading and actually hitting them trades pretty well. This is one of the first times that I've ever shown this on a live. So here you go, guys. Sorry, not a live. This is actually the first time that I'm going to be showing this to people through a video as it is. You can see there, this is where it marks them as a buy, there's a sell, there's another buy, another sell, and so on and so on. And if we have a look over here, drag this one down for you guys, you can also see, you know, we're getting a bearish, we're getting a bullish, and this, look at, like, this is what we mean by Foreseer having concrete hands. It went in a sell, in a short position here. The price ran, and this is why it's so important to be running a low leverage, because Foreseer actually has concrete hands. The price ran away from it by almost $20 USD, and it said, I don't care. Waited for the price to fall back down and said, okay, I'm going bullish. And then the price fell on it. It didn't care, and then it exited, you know, once again, not too far off. So one small loss, one okay loss, not too much of a big deal. But then it picked itself back up in these last two trades. Sorry, 4 trades. So shorted, longed, and you can see where the price is right now. And to be quite honest with you guys, we missed a short here position at about $241 by maybe, I think it was like 32 cents. And, you know, as much as that hurts, it's okay because, you know, we believe in Foreseer and what it can do. And you guys can see, you know, in between as well, it does give signals. So if I zoom into here right now, you can see it went in a buy position, a bullish position, and then it gave you more signals indicating that this is quite a strong buy zone right now. It's almost like a consolidation zone right here, right now, and you can see the wick right out. So consolidation, smack out, comes back down. They're trying to suppress it, smack right back out, and continue to grow. So, you know, when we start to see a whole lot of signals coming in, it actually indicates to us that, hey, you know, Foreseer is actually catching on to something here that could potentially go its way. Uh, if we keep going back, you can just check it out here. This was one of the ones that really hurt. Went into a long position. It was a beautiful long position, and then it sold and went into a short at 208. This is that big hurting one, and then it went bullish at 242. So this one here didn't unfortunately come back down. You can see it literally wrote it. You know, this triggered off of, I think it was like 4 cents. If price hadn't moved in one candle of about 4 cents, it would have totally been in a long all the way through, and then you would have probably sold out here at 222. And then once again, there was probably something else there that would have triggered it to do something like that. If it had, you know, managed to go through all that, we would have had a sale about here. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's not going to be perfect. Nothing ever will. If someone is telling you that someone is 100% and it trades, you know, 10 to 15 times a month, takes 10 to 15 positions a month, and it does 100%, please, I would love to see it, because I have looked, you know, inside and out. So, yeah, guys, I hope that summary gives you a bit of confidence with it, and I hope that summary gives you a bit of details that you were looking for. But yeah, Kurt, that's pretty much it, mate. Cheers.
All right, cool. So there you go. There's a summary. Rev, you nailed that summary. Really excited that you guys all got to see some of the performance there and all the information that Rev covered in there. And I think pretty much that is what we have to do to explain everything to do with Foreseer. The next thing really is the registration. So Rev, let's wrap it up and drop the information of what's coming next.
Yeah, for sure. So, guys, I guess we've tried to answer the majority of the questions that have come through. I guess the important things to note: the registration form will be out by the 8th for us to go through. Right? Is that correct, Kurt? And we're on track for that.
On the 8th. I have mentioned the time zone that I'm going to drop it in. So it is going to be Western Australian time, Perth, Western Australia, where I'm from. It's going to be around that 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. drop. I have made some other time zone allocations. So yeah, we'll try and get it within there.
Yeah. And also, when we just keep in mind, guys, when we're going to go through to the actual forms, we're not looking at anything specifically. Like we're not going to treat a large trading account in a better way than a smaller trading account. Remember, we just spoke about liquidity and slippage. For us, we'd rather have more people with a smaller amount of money consistently trading and making some sort of money on the back end, and then being happy with that, you know, coming through. So don't feel threatened or unfriended or whatever it is you want to take it. Don't take it the wrong way. Just feel it out as, you know, as real as you could, right? Just be honest and just so we know where you're at, right? We know where the whole Cryptofy community is at.
Totally. I think if you answer the form honestly, I mean, at the end of the day, when you go sign up and register your account, it's going to have to be quite similar to how you registered the form anyway. Okay. But like we're saying, if someone in there wants to trade a significant amount of money, it's okay. You know, we put the information in there and we will contact you and we will deal with you directly. We do have some people that have messages saying, and I'm just putting a figure out there, you know, like I want my trading account to have $80,000 in there, $100,000 in there. Can we do that? Yes, we can. However, we will deal with you directly. And will you be in the first round? Yes, you may be. Will you be in the second round? Will we get the first lot up and running and then deal with you a day or two later? Yeah, it's right. Probably something like that. I don't know. We haven't worked it out yet. But just try and answer the form as honestly as you can, and don't be afraid. If you're a $1,000 trading account, no problem at all. Okay? Yeah. So $1,000, $100,000, $50,000, $10,000, $20,000, it does not matter to us. We need a blend and a mix of people from the community. If 10 people come in and say, I want $10,000, $100,000 account, it's not going to steer what we're wanting to do. It's just that's what we're dealing with then. Okay. Yeah. So just fill out the registration and be honest.
Yeah, just be honest. Well, so we can, you know, we might be able to put something together and tailor something together for that particular person if they have a really big account. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure everyone's kind of just having a fair run here. So at the end of the day, that's just what we're trying to do here. Also, just keep in mind they can subscribe to. Oh, did you want to say something, Kurt?
No, you're okay.
Yeah. So you can subscribe to each trading pair. You can subscribe to 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can subscribe to 2 of them or 1 of them. It's totally up to you, but you need to choose at least one. And it doesn't necessarily secure your position as well. So don't feel like, you know, I've done it. It's secured my position. As much as we'd love to say, hey, here guys, take it and go with it. At the end of the day, like I said, we've already kind of covered why we can't just be doing that.
Yeah, and the reason why Rev says that is because someone has contacted us and said, can you please allocate me a slot for every trading pair and I'll pay you a little bit extra? I'm sorry, we're not going to do that. You know, like fair is fair playing field. We've had that philosophy since we opened Cryptofy, and we will continue that philosophy. So if you want to do two, no problems. Click 2 trading pairs. You will not be judged versus someone doing 1 trading pair. It's totally up to you what you want to do. But yeah, if you tick all 4, that's on you as well. You will not be discriminated because you could be, I'll take every pair, but I'm only trading $2,000 an account. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also,
so I think we've covered everything, Rev. Sorry, go.
I do want to add something to that as well. If someone is utilizing a different pair, just keep in mind you will need a different account to utilize that different pair because of the funds, right? Because you're going 100% in and 100% out through these setups. So your equity is all locked up and they're not. So let's say you go 100% in and 100% out of everything, and then you have 2 pairs that trigger. The first one that actually comes through will take 100%, and the other one will just do nothing because it'll just come up with an error. You know, no funds. Sorry, you can't take this trade. Yeah. So you will need different accounts. What some people may want to do, just to add to that really quickly. I know this video has taken a while already, but what some people may want to do is if they're looking at a long and a short sort of trading setup, maybe utilize the BitMEX, and then a spot trading setup, you can utilize Binance or wherever exchange it is. For Binance, you have Binance Futures and Binance. So that works really well there as well. You can utilize a leveraged one and a normal spot buy and sell.
Yeah, and also the exchanges that you're going to be able to trade on are in the registration form. So you just need to tick and check the boxes that you want to trade on. Okay, and that helps us as well.
Yeah, and they all need to be, just to clarify this, every single question needs to be answered. Every single
for the form to be submitted. That's right.
Yeah. Otherwise, it just won't work for you. So if you come to us and say, "Hey, I tried to send it, but it didn't work," it means you haven't filled something out. Have another look. But yeah, it is definitely 100% required because we need to know all those details. And some people might say, "Well, it's we're kind of prying on your privacy." But at the end of the day, guys, if you want to utilize Foreseer, we need to do this so we know that everyone is in good hands at the end of the day. We'd rather have 100 people in good hands and 1 person not happy to answer all the questions. That's fine. Then you can't utilize Foreseer, unfortunately. But we'd rather have those 100 people happy that we know we're managing correctly.
Yeah, that's it. All right, no worries. Well, I think that's it. I think we've answered this. There's going to be questions in Facebook, there's going to be questions in Discord. We'll do our best. But for now, watch the video, fill out the registration, and if you have been selected, you'll be contacted by email. All right? Take it easy from me.
Yeah, take care, guys. And thank you, Kurt, so much for your time again. You're a legend, man.
No, man.
Take care, guys.
Speak to you soon, man.
Bye.
Later. Bye.